Well, hello there, friends and loyal listeners. Welcome to another wonderful episode of the Silverwood Show Podcast. We're really kind of getting into the season now, and we've got a guest that you've been asking for on this week's
They might
episode.
recognize who this guest
Yeah,
is.
you might know who he is.
He's
want to
Nick
give any...
Norton,
Okay,
the magician.
we're not doing. Yeah, we're not going to tease it. We're just going to tell you.
I mean, if they're listening to this, they probably already saw it in the title. So it's Nick
That's
Norton.
a valid
Yes.
point. Yes. So we will be talking some behind the scenes illusions and magic and all things.
And his background
Yeah.
and all this stuff. And what's new with this upcoming season as far as the magic show goes.
Which I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
It's a brand new show this year, and you definitely don't want to miss it. So that's coming up in the big drop. But why don't we kick things off with the Park Pulse?
Park Pulse.
We have made it through our second weekend, our mom's weekend, and it was beautiful for one day. We did
Saturday
have
was very nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank goodness for Saturday because Sunday's weather wasn't exactly where we'd like it to be.
Yeah.
But I think the moms had a great time.
Yeah, I think so. So we were actually here because we had King 5 News over in Seattle here.
Yes.
And we were with them because they're doing a little piece for us on their Local Lens YouTube series. And also, they're going to be on our podcast in June.
We're so
we're
excited.
just like getting to know them and all that
Yes.
stuff. And so we were around the whole day. And it was a great day.
So much fun. Jordan rode every single ride in the park. So
Oh
you
my
guys probably
gosh.
saw him out there. I know people are starting to recognize you. He's getting stopped in the park. Like, that's a podcast guy.
We rode Stunt Pilot. We
Yes.
rode
Aftershock.
Timber Tear. We rode Aftershock. We rode Corkscrew. We rode Log Flume, Tilt-A-Whirl, Thunder Canyon, and the train. Saw the magic show, and then finished the day off with Aftershock.
Oh,
we
yeah.
rode it again.
You rode it again?
I
didn't
right
know
at
that.
6. We were the last ride of the day.
Wait, did Kelly ride it again?
No,
So Kelly is
the host of the show.
host,
Yeah.
and she's the host of the morning news there at King 5 as well. Yeah. And it's just really funny to see you next to Kelly, and she's in the fetal position, and Jordan's got his arms out, and he's just smiling the biggest smile.
I think she had a great time though. Yeah,
she had a wonderful
So then,
time.
and their co-host Jose was here as well, and so.
And they call him Extreme Jose.
Yeah, right.
So
So
that kind of tells you.
And we got them in the shows. So Kelly was in the magic show and Jose was in the train show. And so it was just a great fun day.
Yeah.
But you'll be seeing that on their YouTube channel,
Yes.
which is Local Lens Seattle.
It's going to be so awesome when they put that together.
Yeah.
So we had a fun day, and I think it's going to definitely reflect that for sure.
Best
So-
day ever. I heard that from her mouth. She
Yes,
said best
she
day ever.
did. She actually did. And she thoroughly enjoyed the treats as well. So
Sure did.
Yes, very much so. So Mother's Day weekend, thanks to all the moms that came out as well. We're coming up on Kids Weekend this weekend. And so kids 7 and under are going to get in free.
Yeah.
So lots of kids are out and about.
Well,
It'll be fun.
and this is one of the weekends that is more of our slower weekends in terms of our May promotions, and so that's kind of a special thing to come out and enjoy the park, especially because the weather is not looking horrible, but it's not looking like the 75 and sun we had on last Saturday, and so. If you're a season pass holder or you're just looking out to come and enjoy the park, this Saturday, Sunday would be a really good weekend to do that.
Yeah, shorter lines, and it's going to be a good time.
And
And
you can-
plus, kids. I mean, it's always
Absolutely,
fun when there's kids. And so,
Right.
yeah.
And you can buy those tickets on our website at silverwoodthemepark.com to get the kids weekend tickets, but you do not have to purchase a ticket for anyone 7 and under, because when you come to the park, they'll get in free when someone else in your family purchases a ticket.
Yes. So that's a good description because we get that question often. So we're coming up on Boulder Beach in the dry run. I know.
Can you believe it?
It's like we've barely gotten used to Silverwood being open in the dry park, and now we've got Boulder Beach just creeping up on us. So we're just 2 weeks.
We're 2 weekends out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's coming.
It is coming really, really fast. So, be prepared.
Yep. And so there's a lot of things that were happening in between there too, because we have Night of the Stars this week,
Yes,
which
Night of the
is
Stars.
one of the best nights in the entire year. Night of the Stars.
So great that we made it 2 nights this year.
Yeah, and it's 2 nights this year. So for those who don't know, it is a night that we give tickets to anybody who has who's physically or mentally disabled, and then also anybody who has like a terminal illness, and they can sign up for this night through like one of their providers, or even just like a school district. But they get free tickets, and their caretaker gets a free ticket, and they get a free meal as well. And then their family can purchase cheap tickets it's from 4 to 8, and it's such a cool night. So we have tons of volunteers to help lift people out of wheelchairs and onto the roller coasters, just because that takes more time.
You know what I love is that we actually usually run out of space for volunteers because we get so many people that volunteer. Awesome. And I love that so much. So community really comes together. For sure. And it's a beautiful night. So that's going to be fun.
And then the next week we have our Physics and Science Day.
Yes.
Which is another day where we invite school groups to come out to the park. And we have some fun things.
I heard something about egg dropping.
We do have an egg drop.
Fun.
Where they get some pieces like straws and tape, and they get to make their own egg contraption to keep it safe as they drop, and we increase the height. Oh yeah, you haven't been here for this.
I haven't.
So
no.
It's a really fun thing for the kids to do, and we've gotten as high as like 18 feet when they're dropping, and it's not breaking.
Wow.
So that's cool. And then we have like a roller coaster building contest that we do for like the high schoolers, and we judge that. And then there's other activities throughout the day, as well as like riding the rides and having just a great time.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's a lot of really smart kids.
It's fun. It's super fun.
A little intimidating.
Yeah. Right.
It's going to be great.
And then it's Memorial Day weekend.
And then it's Memorial Day weekend. And then that's Heroes Weekend. So,
Heroes Weekend.
Yeah. It's, and then we're into June.
Water park. Yeah. Well, and last year the water park didn't open until the first weekend. Well, I think it was June 8th last year that the water park opened. But just because we were putting the finishing touches on the Emerald Forest, right? And so this year, we don't have to do all of that. So we open Memorial Day weekend, and then it's open the following weekend until June 7th. Then it'll be open daily.
Yeah. Okay. Because go look at our calendar and our schedule on our website. It's a little different this year. I know a lot of people confused, but you can just find that at silverwoodthemepark.com. So we're moving into that. Tremors updates.
Yeah, we have a quick update. Is that from what I've heard is that by the end of this week, we will be running some test runs.
Okay.
We should be running test runs through the weekend. It will not be open, but we should be running test runs through the weekend just
making sure it's safe.
Get all that under our belt, and then we'll assess it from there to see if we are ready to go for Memorial Day weekend.
Cross fingers.
We'll see. As long as everything goes well, that's kind of where we're hoping.
That's the goal.
Yes,
but things do change. So just no quoting us on any of
please
that.
Don't.
Please, we're begging you. Well, what do you say we get into the mail train and answer some questions?
Mail train.
And we are back with some questions from our loyal listeners. Let me start off by saying, wow. They continue to sign up. And if you would like to sign up too, all you got to do is go to silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast. Enter to become a loyal listener for your chance to be featured with one of your questions, or potentially have Jordan and I call you with a chance to win a pair of tickets. Well, you do win a pair of tickets and a chance to win upwards of $75 in Silverwood cash. So we'll do that here in just a moment for this week's winner. But let's answer some questions. We had Shauna Bentley write in. She wants to know, what's the most amount of people that have visited in one day here at Silverwood?
Oh, man. Actually, it was back in 2019.
Oh, okay.
So we had a Saturday in 2019 where the previous Saturday we had rain. And so there wasn't that many people. And so we forecasted that, no pun intended, but the next weekend was looking really nice. Yeah. And we knew the people were going to come out. And so that was the most people we've ever had before, and it was 13,800.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was.
Oh wow.
That was a day where we were telling people like, "Hey, if you don't have to come today, like
today might not be the
maybe
day.
come back tomorrow." So
yeah. But still, to be there on a record-breaking day, kind of cool to say, right?
Yeah.
So, well, that's a great answer and great question, Shauna. Thank you for that. Trevor Law wrote in wanting to know, how long is the railway track? That's a good question.
It is 3.2 miles.
Oh, so it's kind of like a 5K.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
3.2 miles around, and it goes around the property. But it kind of on the backside, it kind of cuts straight through our property and then curves back around. So you do get a sense of how big the Silverwood property is when you're back there. But 3.2 miles.
I kind of picked that one because I was really curious too. So
well, good, because I had to look it up before.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. So Trevor, thank you for that one. Great question. Deanne Miller, why does the park open so late in the day?
Mm-hmm. So this is something that we've heard a lot.
Yeah.
it's exclusively really because of our maintenance team going around and doing a very thorough check of all of our rides every day. They get here at 3 a.m. to start their checks, and if we had to open any earlier, they'd have to get here even earlier than that, and then you're starting to play with sunlight and all that stuff. So safety and all that stuff. Yes. Safety is the reason that we open at 11. There are some times where we open at 10 if someone books what's called the roller coaster alley. And you can do that with a group, and it's like an exclusive early entry into the park. You can book that with our group sales team. But that is the one exception where we will open a little bit earlier, and you have exclusive ride time on some of our main attractions,
which is awesome. So so book that if you got a group. That's something to think about. You want to get here a little bit earlier. And I think we might have answered this question with our intro, but Christine wants to know: is the original magician back at Silverwood this year?
Nick Norton is back.
Nick Norton is back, and he is going to be in our big drop here momentarily.
So stay tuned, because you'll hear all about it.
Stay tuned. So I think we should call this week's loyal listener and give him a chance to finally pick that sounder out of. We've been trying to get the winner from this forever. It could be the week.
It could be the week. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm hoping. So let's give him a call. First, we have to generalize our number. Is that the word? Generate.
Maybe,
that works too.
See if it's a general number or not.
Yeah, okay.
Here we go.
Let's go.
We have a winner.
All right, I'm being told number 441 is our winner. So what do you say we give him a call?
Hello?
Hi, this is Sarah and Jordan with the Silverwood Show Podcast here at Silverwood Theme Park. And you signed up to be a loyal listener.
Are we sure? We want to call him back? Let's move on.
We might have disconnected, though, because of the problems. He might not have been able to hear us.
Okay, let's try it again.
Let's try him again.
Hello?
Hey, Tim. Sarah and Jordan back with the Silverwood Show Podcast. I think we got disconnected.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm so good. And I'm so glad we were able to get a hold of you, because I just wanted to say right off the bat, go Cougs.
Oh, wow.
Go Cougs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know. He has a question about a certain type of beer that he'd like to see offered in the park. And I'm a fellow Coug here. So I was pretty excited to see that you were the one that was randomly drawn today. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're going to win 2 tickets to the park. And we're also going to play a little game with you if you have a couple minutes.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
this
perfect.
is crazy.
And you're going to be on this week's episode of the podcast. So we're going to play a little game, and you're going to have the chance to win upwards of $75 in Silverwood cash to bring when you get to the park to pick up your tickets. So the first game is a game of true or false. So you get a 50% chance on everything I say to potentially get it right and win $5 per question.
So that's $25 $25 total for that one.
Yeah. And then we're going to play a sounder, and you are going to have the chance to guess what ride that sounder is about. All right?
And that's worth an extra $50.
Yeah.
So if you get everything right, you have $75 in the bank.
But no matter what, you get to keep your tickets.
You'll get the tickets no matter what.
So
That's insane. Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, Tim, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. True or false? You have to walk up a mountain trail to get to Avalanche Mountain.
True.
Good job. $5.
Tim's got $5 in the bank. Go Cougs. I'm going to say it every time you get it right. You got to go Cougs. Okay.
I'm from Seattle. I'm a Husky fan. I'm sorry.
We're not even talking to him right now, Tim. Pretend that Jordan's not even. No.
I don't know if this call can continue.
Shoot, I don't.
Hey,
I just won't talk anymore.
I make up for it. Okay, your second statement: true or false? The bunny in the magic show is named Gustavo.
Last summer. My sister is friends with the magician.
Oh
no. True.
Good job.
You are correct.
Oh my
Good job.
Yes. And actually, don't worry. You weren't supposed to really know that because it's
right.
a new
it's
bunny.
new this year.
Yeah. So.
Oh, gosh. Straight this.
Throwing out the curveballs for you here.
Unless you've been here the first 2 weekends. That was the only way that you would know that.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
But something to look forward to because Gustavo is quite cute.
Yes,
so,
heck yeah.
All right. Question number 3. Well, true or false? Number 3. Magician Nick Norton is the founder's oldest son.
Gosh, I gotta call my sister. Can I phone a friend?
That was awesome.
Because the first two are true. I gotta say false.
Good job.
Nice work. Yes.
He's actually the youngest.
Yes, he is. So,
Oh wow! I was guessing he's just not the son.
yeah, there's a few
He
family
is the
members
son,
out
yes.
here. Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice work. You're killing it. All right,
Okay.
go Cougs, go
Wow.
Cougs. Because I don't think I told you go Cougs before.
$15. We're gonna have to edit this one a lot.
No, we're not editing anything, Jordan. Okay. Silverwood's name came from North Idaho's landscape of silver mines and woodlands.
Gosh, that sounds like a yes. That sounds like a true.
Good job.
Go Cougs. Tim, you are on it right now. Okay, I'm loving it. And that's another Cougar. First down.
There you go. Wow.
Okay,
wow.
That's great.
I got the keys jingling for you right now,
Okay.
Tim. Okay,
Jeez.
imagine the keys are jingling. There's a birdhouse on site that is themed after the Victorian Coffee House on Main Street. True or false?
Oh, man, gosh, I've drank coffee at that Victorian house many times. True.
Oh
Yep.
my gosh!
We got
and it's
5
a
for
Cougar
5.
touchdown!
Yeah, let's go.
5 for 5.
All right,
Okay.
so
You got $25 in the bank. Let's
and
see
you were
if
the
you can
first
add it.
person to ever get all 5 right, just so you know.
No way.
So nice
Wow.
work. Now mentally
Okay.
prepare yourself, Tim. I want you
This
to
is crazy.
Okay, here
think
we
about
go.
this sounder, and
So
then Jordan, you explain.
I'll
it because,
explain the
yeah,
sounder.
yeah.
So we have a sound bite coming. It is a ride in Silverwood or Boulder Beach. And I'm going to give you all the guesses that have been wrong which ride this is. So we've had guesses that are Thunder Canyon. We had a guess that was the Log Flume. We had a guess that was Bumper Boats. We had a guess that was Tremors. We had a guess that was Eagle Hunt. We had a guess that was the
Riptide Racer.
Riptide
too.
Racer and the Wave Pool.
Yes.
Those are all of our guesses, and they've all been wrong.
Yeah.
So
Jeez. Okay.
We're
all wrong. What's the what?
well, exactly.
Yeah,
we're
we're whittling
whittling
it down.
down. So here comes your sound. Okay. Do you know what ride that is?
Come on,
So
Nick.
that's a group ride. It's not Thunder Canyon.
Nope.
What's that one that we rode? Is it Avalanche Mountain?
Yes, we did it! We got it.
I knew you were the one today.
Oh my gosh. So you got
I felt it.
$75 in the bank plus
Yes.
2 tickets to come out to the park.
You
Wow.
are just the best representation
Oh, wow.
of Wazoo. I am so proud right now to be a coon. You can just sit over there, Husky.
I am proud to be in this moment too.
Yes.
Wow. Well, the fact that it was whittled down so much really helped because I would have said Thunder Canyon
Yeah,
right away.
that's
and
good.
he's modest on top of
Wow.
it. So, Tim, I'm so proud
Gosh,
of you.
I would throw out some words, but
I know,
I'm going
I
to just
know,
applaud.
I know.
Good job.
Oh my gosh, this is
Go.
awesome.
That's so amazing. So go paint the town crimson. I'm going to call you back here in just a few minutes, and I'll let you know how you can get your tickets and all of that from Will
This-
Call.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank
Any
you
final
so
things
much.
you'd like to say, Tim?
Oh, my daughters are going to love it.
Oh.
I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, and, it's anytime we
it.
can get out there, we get out there.
That's
love
it.
awesome.
I
Well, you'll
love
have
it.
to ride Avalanche
Yeah.
Mountain to celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely.
With and then get a funnel cake or something.
Yes,
Heck
exactly.
yeah. Heck yeah. With the
Awesome.
Huckleberry.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
He knows what's up.
He knows what's
Tim.
up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you at the park this summer, and I'll give you a call here momentarily.
Thanks. Go
All right.
Cougs.
No.
Go Cougs. Bye, Tim. I knew he was going to throw it in there. I love it. Well, on that
We
note,
did it.
oh, we finally did it.
Sorry for everybody whose ears we probably blew out when we yelled
I
at
get
the
really
end.
excited when it's cougar related.
Super
And
peaked
so-
when we got that answer. But what that means is that next time we're going to have a new
We can
soundbite.
start now. Yeah. Are we dropping the money down, or are we going to keep it the same?
I think we'll probably keep it at 50.
Okay, I
we'll
like
keep it at
that.
50
Yeah, 'cause it's tough.
It's tough, but
It's
we'll
really
have a
tough.
different
So-
soundbite on the next show.
Whew, all right. Well, I think it's time to bring in our special guest and kick things off with the big drop.
The Big Drop.
And we are back with this week's very special guest. You've seen him in our Theater of Illusion. And I know a lot of you might have been missing him a little bit last year, but he's back. He's better than ever with a brand new show this year. Everybody welcome Nick Norton, our resident. And I asked him, magician, illusionist, Gypsy's dad. I mean,
all three.
He'll take
are
all of them.
correct,
Yeah. So there you go. So hi, Nick. How are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good. So for those who might not know your background here at the park, go ahead and tell us like a little brief intro about who you are, how long you've been here, all that good stuff.
I grew up in a theme park.
Yeah.
And then I used to hang around all the shows because that was pretty much my favorite part.
Yeah.
And then I started working for the shows. I was doing the technical side, running the curtain, and then I eventually started running the light and soundboard. But back in my day, we had one spotlight and a couple tape cassettes, and you'd roll you get it all dialed in, and then you'd roll the little wheel back with your finger and then put it back in. It was good times.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Things have changed.
Yes. Oh, yes. We've come a long way. But yeah, and then it was kind of I got into it on a dare, the magic thing, and it was the best decision ever made.
How'd that happen?
Yeah.
Tell me about this dare.
I was working for a magician at the time, and we were probably towards the end of the season, and he'd always come up to me before the show. He's like, "What's my motivation? Why am I going out there?" I'm like, "Because it's the best job in the world." And he's like, "What do you think? You think you could do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, give me a shot." And so I did his whole act, word for word, and I was like, "This is so much fun. It's freaky."
Yeah.
So that's how that happened.
What year was that?
Oh, man. Let's go. We're talking 98, 99, late
Nice.
1900s.
Okay. And then from there, I mean, I know you went down to Vegas and had done some.
So I went to Lance Burton's magic show at the Monte Carlo. And I think I was about 18 years old or something in there. And at the end of the show, I went to the magic shop because I was like, he was producing these cards on his fingertips during the show. I was like, what is that? I've never seen it before. Mm-hmm. And so I go in the magic shop and I'm asking the guy behind the counter, how does he make those cards produce, from his fingertips? And this guy taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "You want to know how to do the card manipulation?" And it's Lance Burton.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm like, "Hey, hi, Lance." And so he directed me towards these VHS. It was this whole thing before DVDs, Netflix. These VHS tapes of a magician by the name of Jeff McBride, who's just the card manipulation master. And so after, I think I was on a boat and we went around the Caribbean for a while, and I just devoured those tapes, destroyed them. They didn't work by the time we came back, and I just had it down. And that was the beginning. Yeah. From there, I just was flicking cards all over. The key is to have like a salad bowl of tossed cards, and when you're on the phone with somebody, to not sound distracted as you're playing with them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure all the tips and tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many different things.
Yeah. So no, Vegas was good. I got to apprentice for a lot of really big time magicians. So apprenticing for Jeff McBride, I finally met him, and then he had this school called Masterclass. So I went to a bunch of those, and then eventually just moved down there. And then I would drive him all over town, take him to all these other gigs. But at the Masterclass, he had all these other amazing magicians come in and teach. So I got to meet, and unfortunately, if I meet you and you're a famous magician, you will die shortly thereafter.
Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah. So Channing Pollock, Billy McComb, Eugene Berger, Jerry Kane, God rest all of their souls.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not because you sawed them in half.
No, I just seem to be meeting them at the very tail end of their existence.
They're just passing on the magic.
Yeah,
to
but
you.
The Channing Pollock, he invented card manipulation.
Wow.
And he used those white gloves, like the very classical white glove magicians. But he had to wear those gloves because he was in World War II, which I believe he explained is the last of the fun wars. He would wear those gloves and do the card manip. These were his combat gloves, and so that kind of translated into the white gloved magician that you.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty wild stuff.
So when you're an apprentice, what does that mean? What are you learning during that time?
So you're basically helping the magician do his job, perform. So that whether it's like going to get laundry, driving him to and from the events, getting the car out of valet, watching the car.
You're an intern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they just slowly slip these little gems out, like, oh, here's how you do this trick. Oh, this trick was invented over here, and here's why. And then boom, boom, boom. And the more you hang out with these people, the more you just listen and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
become fascinated.
Are they actively like training you, or is it really more like you're kind of doing the grunt work and just like soaking up as much as you can on the side?
You do a lot of the grunt work, but like I said, then every once in a while they'll stop and you'll get that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Right? And then, or they'll say, learn this and get back to me. Right. So when you're done doing all the work, you go home and you practice that up, and then, hey, you want to see it? Be like, not right now. All right. Then you wait a little bit longer. Hey, ready? No. And then finally you'll do the effect, and then they'll be like, okay, move your hand this way. These are the sight lines you're looking for, and really cool stuff like that.
So what is the number one like takeaway that you took away from any of your apprenticeships or any of your time down in Vegas? What did you take away that you brought back here that you see in, or guests can see in every show that you do?
The number one thing is to not hide behind all of the tricks, because the original, I always have a tendency to go way too fast. And it's just because you want to perform all these tricks because, God, I want the audience to like me so much. And then the one thing I learned is if they like you as a person, then whatever you do magically, whatever kind of effects you pull off are more enjoyable, because they're like, I know that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hang out with that person. So that's why I go out before the show 10 minutes early for the pre-show, because it just gives us a chance to hang out, right? It's just a little time to be real before the smoke and lights and everything go off.
So, I mean, I've seen a number of your shows, obviously, but
how many do you think you've seen, Jordan, over time?
Quite a few. I don't know if I can. I've seen probably more than Nick's seen of his own show. So,
probably.
But what I know, when you're in that pre-show show mode, you see a lot of people that are coming back.
Oh God, yes.
Why do you think people are coming back? And is it that interaction point before and after the show that you think draws people to the show? Oh,
the meet and greet afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'll recognize people that have come to the show when they were kids, and they've grown up, and now they have brought their kids.
Cool.
Oh,
And so we've stepped into this new realm of like being a member of the family. I've watched their kids grow. And then it's, I don't know, it's just some kind of a community that we've kind of developed. I know when certain people are in the audience, I might push the show this direction for them. Gosh, the classic car show guys, like, no matter what, I'll have to put the floating table back in the show if he's in the audience. It's like, all right, I'll go get it. Coaster enthusiasts, love those guys. And they've, what are we calling the coaster enthusiasts of America? What's their
ACE?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those guys are rowdy.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of different groups. And, some of them just keep coming back at particular times. Like, there's certain groups that just rent the park so you'll know what to expect. I love the people that come at the end for our classic car show.
Yeah.
I recognize when you go out and you go out for the pre-show and you recognize 80% of the people.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
It's gonna be a good show.
And that's why I'm super stoked about this year, because we wanted to do because normally every year you'll get, some money and you put in a couple new pieces and then try and change the flow a little bit, give them something new. But this year we wanted to take a giant leap.
Yeah.
Just so, it was fresh.
Yeah.
And we did.
And tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about what our guests can expect this year.
Well, it was once again kind of an accident, right?
Yeah.
Happy little accident. Bob Ross status. We had an assistant in the show last year, Lucy Sharapata, and she was into this aerial art stuff, which I've never heard of. I mean, I've seen Cirque du Soleil in Vegas. In fact, I was kind of, so that's kind of, I really haven't pushed into the circus area at all, because in the late 90s, there was a lot of magicians. You had Siegfried and Roy, you had Lance Burton, all the strip was basically either review shows or a magician.
Right.
And then Cirque came in with their first show, Mystère, at Treasure Island. And then Cirque just took over.
Right.
It took over every single venue. And now everybody's got a Cirque show. So I was like, circus acts. Right. So, but then last season, Lucy, I needed to eat up some time in the show, because I throw my macaw, Gypsy, I throw her and then I catch her. Well, she's not trained to go up on anybody else. So I have to walk off the stage and put her in the cage, give her a treat, and then come back out. Well, that's like a 10-second to 20-second dead time, because sometimes, she wants to play. So Lucy's like, I can do my lyra hoop. And I'm like, what is a lyra hoop? And it's just like a giant metal hoop that she
like a hula hoop.
It's like a hula hoop, but you hang it vertically. And we have all the gear for flying stuff at the time there for that. And so I was like, okay, we'll put that in the show while I'm doing this. And I was like, well, how do I integrate that in the show? So we'd like produce Gypsy through the hoop, and then I'd run off. And then she did her lyra routine, and I was just, my jaw hit the floor. It was amazing. So I looked into more aerial artist type things, and there's ropes, there's silks. And then it was just like, okay, let's just do a circus themed show. You know, Dr. Cosmos under the big top, Phantasm, right? And then I wanted music to be a really big part of the show as well. I mean, it always is, but so way back in the north end of the park before the water park was built, we had an ice show. Mm-hmm. And in that ice show, we had an actual pipe organ, which was fascinating. And it was a really cool show. He was Jack Frost, and when he'd play the pipe organ, all the toys in the toy shop would come to life, being the ice sculpts.
Oh, yeah.
And it was awesome. But then as soon as we built a water park, nobody wanted to go to an ice rink because it was really cold.
Yeah.
So that kind of faded off. And I just really thought, you know, Dr. Cosmos needs a new element, right? Another layer, because we're just trying to add layers. And so we built a pipe organ in his lab, and now he uses music to, you know, channel the power of the universe. It's really, it's fun. I like it. And it's a throwback.
Yeah.
Like the pipe organ is, I don't know if anybody remembers, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of people. I hear all the time, like, bring back the ice show, bring back the ice show. I was like, well, it's kind of bled by you right now, but
yeah.
That's all right. That's what
I know.
happened.
I just walked through there the other day with my kid. She loves walking through the haunts when they're not open.
Yeah,
because she's not really ready for when they're open. Actually, she did last year, but some of the animatronics are still on.
they are always on.
Oh,
so.
yes.
I got pretty scared. I got spooked. We went in there a couple days ago and we're walking through, and
probably the coat rack.
One of them went off.
The coat rack.
It's loud too.
Yeah, it's really loud right after the dining room.
That's a good scare.
Especially when you think everything's off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was I'm glad we did Scarywood.
Well, it was nice seeing your daughter as well in one of the shows this weekend. Not so much in it, but front row. And, you know, I know that one of the guests that we had in the marketing department just thought that was the coolest thing, that your daughter was there. So that kind of brings back that whole family kind of thing.
Oh, wait till you meet my little apprentice Carson. He's the same age as my daughter.
Yeah.
And he, you know, we do the meet and greets after the show. And this lady comes up, she's like, my kid would like to show you a magic trick. And I was like, oh, okay. And he just busts out my entire card manipulation routine that took me 20 years to learn.
Wow.
And did it flawlessly.
And he's like 11?
Yeah, 12. At the time he was 11, yeah.
Gosh.
And so I was like, all right, he can be my apprentice. And he would send me videos of some of his routines. His mom would record it, send it to me, and then I'd email back, all right, do it like this, you know, turn the shoulder out here. And been doing that for like a year. And he's basically, they built a set of like a recreation of my theater in the garage.
Oh, wow.
Curtains, lights.
Wow.
And do the entire show. Like when we made the Harley appear, you know, a couple years ago, he would make a bicycle appear with the same method.
Oh my gosh.
We're doing like the dancing hanky. His dad would build the dancing hanky rig. And so now they come to the show and the whole family comes backstage, and anything new, right? You'll see it being performed in his garage within a week.
That is awesome.
Nice. How much does he charge for admission?
Yeah, no kidding.
Bring the podcast there.
Oh, yeah.
I put him up on stage regularly when he comes out, because that's another thing I learned from my mentors is the best way to learn is to get out there in the, on the front lines and just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
And theme park magic is the front lines of magic. I think I've done over 10,000 shows now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's if you're going to break in some new material, go to a theme park, because not everybody's there to watch a magic show either.
Right.
I like the families that keep coming back, but I also really like people that have never seen the show before. And when you do the pre-show show, they think, "What is this? What is this? The magic show? What's going on?" And then when the curtain opens and you just go for the entrance of it all, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, going back to your first show at Silverwood, do you remember your first show and how it went?
Oh, yes.
How'd it go?
I had stage fright for like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, that was a thing. Well, because it's not like I grew up as a child going, I'm going to be a magician one day. I knew I was going to be a comedian at one point, but not a magician. But so I had stage fright for a long time, but then it finally went away when I started doing like the pre-shows.
Yeah.
And that just, after that, I enjoy it. I can't think of a life without performing.
So what do you think you have improved the most since that very first show to where you are today?
To slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Slow down. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't run when no one's chasing you.
Yeah.
That's a good
actually
quote.
Really good. Yeah.
Oh, I've got so many quotes from my mentors. He used to make me write them down.
Cool.
So I always I still have that journal actually.
That's great. Do you have any other ones that you continue to think through?
There'll always be a situation where one pops up. In fact, my assistant last year would be writing them down. All these old, zingers that I had. She had a whole log of them. I was like, read them back to me. I was like, oh my God, yep, those are them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so now you have Tanner Andrews as really your apprentice, and going through that process.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, what have you taken from your apprentice to push him further, but also what have you changed to not have it be like this intern where they're just trying to get in front of you?
Sure. So last year it was interesting because we wanted to get an apprentice, so I couldn't go 7 days a week again. It's a tall order. It's not the end of the world, but I want to spend more time with my kid.
Yeah.
Right. So I needed an apprentice, and Tanner was stage teching for me. Him and his dad used to come see my show, just like all his families, just hundreds of times. And so he wanted a job. I was like, yeah, you could be a stage tech. And then I was like, well, I need an apprentice. So, hey, do you want to try this magic thing? So same way it was dropped on me.
Wow.
Exact same way. I was like, you know what? Let's see if he'll do it. He's like, yeah, sure. So I was like, all right. And just like my mentors taught me, I'm like, okay, first, grab that broom. Let's get this cleaned up. Here's how you do a lapel spread.
Yeah.
Here's how you spring the cards, right? And then get back at me. No, I don't want to see it right now. No, I don't want to see it right now. Okay, show me. So the same exact type of thing. And I made him learn the more advanced stuff. So I really kind of was hard on him. It's like, no, you need to learn these false cuts and false shuffles. They're the most difficult. But if you can do this, then all these things down the line, you won't even have a problem.
Yeah.
So he's had a heck of a crash course. And then, of course, he was pushed out of the nest early last year because I had, several amazing injuries.
Do you want to elaborate on that at all? Because I do know
Sure.
just covering reviews and things like that, and a lot of people asking where you were. And this year, people writing in saying, is he back? Is he back? So why don't you give a little explanation?
So the beginning of the season last year, I think it was like opening weekend rehearsals just leading up to it. And I hit my knee in one of the props. And when you're doing when you're prepping a show, there's just so much going on. You're trying to think. You're worried about sound cues, and is everybody in the right spot? Is that costume going to work over here? And all this. So I didn't really pay any attention to it. But I had a small little pinhole in the top of my knee.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
And so at night I looked at it and I was like, wow, it's not bleeding, but there's a hole there. And then the next day it was about the size of a $50. And then
the hole,
it was just like
swelling.
Inflamed around it. And then we did shows. And because there's no sick days in show business, right? Yeah. You're either out in the hospital or you're on that stage. And put it this way, I ended up in the hospital for 5 days with a staph infection. It went all the way up my leg. I almost lost the leg.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. That was a rough one. 5 days in there, lots of MRI surgery. But then Tanner had to go do his thing, and I couldn't even be there to help him. I was in the hospital, just staring at the ceiling. So it was a weird feeling. Yeah, not just the leg. It was. I was really worried about my kid. Doing it, and so then he, trial by fire. He went out there, and brave guy. He's one of the bravest people I know.
No kidding. I mean, because how long had he been really doing magic?
Like full dress rehearsals.
I mean, even learning that from their very first.
6 months.
Right.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I don't even think I realized that. Yeah. He did great.
So anybody that saw that show last year, I mean, that is incredible.
Yeah. No, so he really poured it on, which I thought was awesome. But so he didn't really get a chance to put his own style on it though yet. We're still trying to find. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's when you're first starting in magic, finding out who you are as a magician is the most difficult part of it. But that, just do a theme park show and give it about 10,000 shows. You'll get there. You'll find something.
One way or another.
Yeah. So then fast forward through the season, I'm back, right? And we're doing our thing. And then I'm in this compressor illusion last year. where I get squished. And not to give away too much of how the illusion works, but why not?
We don't have that one anymore, right?
No, it's in. Yeah, this one got me. So it's supposed to look like I'm laying in it, and then I get squished up to like a little 1 foot size magician. But your body's actually not in that position.
Yeah.
So I had to crank my head back to make it look like I was laying in that position to sell the effect. Well, it's not the most ergonomic position to be in. And one show I heard this pop in my neck, and I was like, what was that? And then later that night, I paint as one of my little hobbies, and I'm painting, and my hand went numb. And I'm like, I can't move my left hand. What is that?
No.
And we have this friend of the family, Dr. Bob. Everybody needs a retired surgeon as a friend of the family, right? And he goes, is there a pain in your neck at all? I was like, yeah. He says, you probably ruptured a disc. You need to get an MRI like now, or that will be permanent. You will not be able to move your hand. I'm like, well, there goes my career.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So really good surgeons got a hold of me. And what was funny is going into Kootenai Medical to get MRIs with your own surgeon with you.
Yeah.
They're like, sir, you can't be here. And he pulls out his credentials. He's like, oh, he was the head surgeon there for like 30, 40 years. And then now he teaches all the new surgeons. And so the MRI technician goes, do you normally just go to the hospital with a surgical team? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Big time like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Know someone.
Yeah. So I owe that guy. He saved me.
Jeez.
So yeah, they put a plate in there. So now I've got new hardware.
Yeah.
And backing a car is interesting. I can't shoulder a phone. But what good came out of it is I had to do a lot of physical therapy. Once I could finally work out again, and had to slowly work back in. And so I've been taking my apprentice, and we've been hitting the gym solid all winter long to be ready for a long season. So
That's so funny because I saw Tanner standing by the train tracks the other day, and I was like, what you waiting for? Hitchhiking a ride? And he's like, yeah, Nick to take me to the gym. And I thought he was like joking. I didn't know he was being serious, but he was legitimately waiting for you.
Well, and can you talk about like just the endurance that it takes to be a magician? People probably don't realize how much it takes.
Well, there's a lot of what's called dynamic tension. So you're hitting these poses and whatnot, and then throw adrenaline on top of that. So we don't have to do as much cardio now that the season started. Yeah. Because the show will do most of that for us.
Yeah.
But also, being 45 years old, and producing the show, I was like, you know what? Right about halfway through the show, I'm going to have a scene that's just Dr. Cosmos and the aerial artists, and I'm going to sit one out. And it works.
It's the first time you've done this, right?
Never done it before. And I think it's great. It's another dynamic level. I look at a show when I'm writing it in terms of peaks and valleys. Okay. You want to come up at a couple apexes and bring them down in here for a moment. You got to have your ooh-ah bit. This is the first year I've worked with bunnies, though, and I got to tell you, what have I been waiting for? Whole audience,
every time.
Every single time.
Yes.
Gustavo.
Oh, that guy's awesome, too. Minus the fur everywhere.
I think that's such a great part, though, because every single time I've seen it, and you're blowing the fur off of you, and it's like, that's a real bunny.
Yep, that's a real bunny.
That is a real bunny.
It's adorable. And I'm working with the youngest. I never, ever pick kids that young because they're so unpredictable, and I like reliability. Yeah. Well, no, maybe I do like a little chaos because they're funny.
It's
so
hilarious.
Funny. And I give a kid a 6-foot cattle prod that actually works. And the parents look at me like, what?
Yeah. Where's the release?
Yeah, exactly. I love it. It's actually my newest favorite part of the show, and we put it right at the top. Mm-hmm. So that one's fun. Our elephant is a lot of fun. Not to give too much away. Don't want too many spoilers.
Right.
But we do have an elephant. Circus show after all.
Has to have an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, the kid moment reminds me so much of Kids Say the Darndest Things.
Yes.
Because it is so unpredictable. Mm-hmm. But really, I mean, that is the show of that bit. I mean, it is watching that kid and like their complete like oblivious notion of what's going on.
They have no idea.
So can you tell me about like where you get ideas from for your illusions? Where does all that kind of come from? That
one came from a David Copperfield illusion from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Maybe the early 80s, depending on the shoulder pads. Somewhere in there. But he used to have a duck named Webster. And he did a transposition bit with his duck. And I was like, well, duck, not really circus themed. Yeah. And then originally I was going to take, and I had these little lion's manes to put on the bunnies. But then they just flick it off.
They probably hated it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I'm not going to make them wear a lion's mane. They're cute enough as bunnies.
Yes, they are.
So that kind of came from there. David Copperfield gets a lot of grief from magicians, but I still think he's the best of the best. That guy, he invented the game.
Right.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I've got a lot of mentors and a lot of magic to draw from. And so I'll take a little piece of that, illusion over here and a little bit from here. I just put this passion piece in the show last weekend with like razor blades. It was, a Houdini bit mixed with a Eugene Berger candle and restored bit. And we're still working the bugs out of that one.
So I have to ask, is that like a metaphor for what happened to you last year?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to make a piece to just kind of show, life could be pretty tough, but just climb the walls, get back on her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was going to be a little on the nose. I was going to produce a dove at the end. I was like, this is getting kind of corny. A little over the top. So we pulled it back a bit.
So what would you say is your favorite part about this new show?
Well, the aerial artists definitely add a layer.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were like, you know what, let's do it out over the crowd. Legal? What are we looking like this? Okay, it's not technically over the audience, but it's close.
Right.
We have to warn the front row, please don't stand up. You could hurt.
You could kicked in the face.
So we put it right on top of them. And we have our contortionist, Brittany, is in the show now, and she brings dance background as well. So you can tell she's been trained in line, form, and dimension and all that. So putting all these things together is the fun part. That's where I get to kind of, if I see somebody's got a particular talent, well, we're going to pull that out and highlight that, Yeah. And so Tandrew this year, let's get back on our Tanner Andrews.
Yeah.
So
there's too many Tanners around.
Insider nickname. Okay.
Yes. That's his celebrity name. So Tanner Andrews, this year we're going to do it a little differently because, like I said, last year he just had to immediately, perform. So he was doing my script like word for word.
Yeah.
Which it's a great starting point. But this year it's the same show, but we're writing a whole new script for him.
Okay.
So he can have his own version of it.
His own flair.
Yeah.
And when is he gonna be performing?
As soon as we hit June, this is going to be the guy that gives me days off.
Yeah.
Or God forbid, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Get injured again.
Yeah.
But no, we've learned a lot from the personal trainers on how to stretch before shows.
Good.
Very important.
As we're at that part in our life when I should probably start stretching.
Yeah.
I feel you on so many levels. Oh my gosh.
Yes. So yeah.
I think the natural progression of like, what is your favorite part of the show too? Like, what do you want the audience to take away from when they leave your show?
Sure. Well, I definitely don't want them to think they just saw a magic show.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of typical magic shows out there, and we pride ourselves on having like Dr. Cosmos as this oracle character, and trying to take science and magic and intertwine it. And then when it's like, we need another layer, so now it's Dr. Cosmos and the music thing. And I just hope that when you leave the theater, you feel like you've been thoroughly entertained, one, and two, that you want to come back and see it because there's so many different things happening because people do come back and see it a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, some parents, I feel sorry for their kids keep bringing it back.
That's
How you
success
doing?
right there, though.
Right. Or the season pass holders that, they drop their kids at the park and they're at 137 shows. Okay, we're doing this again.
Let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah, so I'd like to keep it fresh for those guys too.
Well, the coaster enthusiast next to me this weekend, he was just mind blown.
Nice.
I mean, here's a man in his 40s and he's like, I feel like I just took drugs. He's like,
in the best way possible.
Yeah, the best way possible. He's like, how did he do it? And I was like, I don't know. You'll never know. But he was mesmerized by what you did on that stage.
Well, there's one reaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Got that one.
Where does your show go to in the future? Years down the road, where are you progressing towards?
So a bigger theater, of course. We definitely need a bigger theater. I'd like to push the Dr. Cosmos character to a point to where, because I can't do it forever. You got my new apprentice, Tanner Andrews, Carson, my young apprentice. So Dr. Cosmos is going to be the kind of glue that holds everything together.
Yeah. So
you could put any kind of an act on there and he can interact. So Dr. Cosmos will be the constant type of a thing there. Like I said, you could have a juggler act in the show, and Dr. Cosmos could be like, yes, the science of catching things.
Yeah.
I can see it now.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder who plays Dr. Cosmos' voice.
I've had to do it live before, so I just like hold my hand over my face and be like, oh yes, Mr. Norton, your final experiment is ready.
Oh my gosh.
It's fun. Yeah.
I honestly didn't know.
You did?
Until just recently
now.
that it wasn't actually.
No.
Well, that's
Dr.
good.
Cosmos'
That's
voice.
the goal.
So that's the goal. Exactly. Exactly.
I hear my voice all over the park.
It's true.
Yes.
Yes, because I live in the park right across the runway there, so I'll hear when stunt pilots going.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's me. The sky's yours.
Yeah. You're on the train.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm one of somebody on the train.
You're the sheriff on the train. Yeah,
I am.
You're the sheriff.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the, please remove any hats, sunglasses.
Yep.
Loose change.
You were on my training video too the other day.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So.
Oh boy. Oh,
Yeah.
that's scary when you have to listen to Sergeant Buzz all night long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Planet Zombie.
Yeah, Planet Zombie. That was a thing.
That was a thing.
Yep.
Well, I think we need to move into a game that we're going to play.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
We're going to
Okay.
play a game with you, and this is the game. It's called
Let's play Silverwood Feud.
It's called Silverwood Feud.
Oh,
This is
boy.
a new game that we're going to play.
Yes.
Okay.
So you know how in Family Feud, at the very end, they play Fast Money, which is like a 20-second thing where they say, we took 100 surveys, and then they ask you questions. You have 20 seconds to basically top of mind type thing.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
So we're going to randomly generate who you're going to play against. You're going to play against me or Sarah.
Okay.
So,
You better hope
and
it's me.
I've already pre-selected this,
Mr.
and this
Competitive.
is what is going to be. It's like Mortal Kombat style. Who are you going to play against?
Jordan.
You're playing against me.
I love it. Okay, give me the
I'm
game.
giving you the question. So, Nick, you're going to go first. I'm going to take off my headphones and put on some noise-canceling headphones.
Oh, we get the same question.
You get the same
Oh,
question,
okay.
so I
Oh,
can
God.
hear it. And then Amanda is going to tally up the answers and give us the scores, and we'll see who wins this.
Producer
In
Amanda
theory,
back
this is our
there.
first time doing this.
Yes, in theory. So,
Yes. So
are there any things? Because I know you know how to tell people at the beginning of a new show. You know, is there any? You know,
Hang on to your butts.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna put on these headphones and I'm going to play some music in my ears
Okay.
so that no one else, so I can't
Okay.
hear what you're saying.
So I can trust that you're actually doing that.
I can't really even hear you right now.
Okay, good.
So,
That's
Perfect.
great. That's fantastic.
okay,
Okay.
I can't hear you, but I have to stop so I can actually talk to you. After you read the first
Yeah.
question is when we will give the 20-second timer. A go.
Okay. And
So-
he gets 20 seconds for the whole thing.
He gets 20 seconds for the whole thing. So
All
all
10.
10 questions.
Okay.
So it's real quick.
Okay. We're ready.
So I will watch your lips, I guess, and press the button when
Okay,
you're done.
okay.
Okay, I am going to start my music. Go ahead.
Name a must-ride attraction at Silverwood.
Aftershock.
What wouldn't you want to drop on a roller coaster?
Phone.
Name a ride at Silverwood that is perfect for little kids.
Tiny Toot.
What ride do you think is the most iconic in the park?
Ooh, Timber Terror.
What is the tastiest treat to buy at Silverwood?
The salted caramels in the candy store. Sea salt caramel. Oh, good Lord.
Name a gift you may buy for someone who did not come to the park.
Sweats.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got through about
okay.
half of them.
Okay.
right.
Well, you're going to put those on, and we're going to keep playing.
Okay.
All right, what song is this?
This is, you'll recognize it.
Oh my God.
Now I'm
Okay.
curious, what song is it?
That's the song.
I figured it was going to be the burn.
No, it's a little journey going on in his head right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm doing the same ones,
Same
though.
questions to
Okay,
me. Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Ready?
I am ready.
Okay, and go. Name a must-ride attraction at Silverwood.
Stunt pilot.
What wouldn't you want to drop on a roller coaster?
Cell phone.
Name a ride at Silverwood that's perfect for little kids.
Train.
What ride do you think is the most iconic in the park?
Tremors.
What is the tastiest treat to buy at Silverwood?
Ice cream.
Name a gift you may buy for someone who did not come to the park.
Oh, wow. Sweatshirt.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys both got to the same.
We got to the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're
So,
good. You're back.
You both made it through 6.
Yeah.
We both made it through 6.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we might need to have a longer timer next time
I
we play this
know,
game.
that was fast.
Work in progress.
So, okay, now Amanda's adding up our
okay.
scores.
Our tallies.
Amanda, let me know when you are ready. Did we have different answers or did we have some?
I wasn't listening to either of you because I was so like, just read the questions as fast as you
great.
can. So it'll be a surprise for me as well. I mean, I did hear your salted caramel thing because you got very like,
Oh, it's
you
good.
felt that to your core, and I could tell. Yeah,
I was watching, you were like explaining things. I'm like, I don't know what he's doing.
But we also
Right.
served some really random stuff. This little girl had a popsicle, and I was like, oh, did you get that from the candy store? She's like, yep. I'm like, what's inside of it? She's like, ants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, enjoy those ants.
They have the crickets and stuff in there too.
There's like a
right?
scorpion one too. There's yeah.
You
there's-
eat scorpions.
Well, I don't know if you're supposed to eat what's inside, but it's
Sure.
like more just a look, I think. Maybe you can.
I thought
Protein.
you were supposed to eat it.
You might.
And they even have the little cigarillo things. Like the little,
Oh, from the 80s.
Yes, from
The-
the 80s.
yeah.
It brings me right
candy
back
cigarettes.
to the candy store. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, I guess
my dad and I bought some last year.
for filler time while we wait, we could ask you some questions about the park. What is your favorite ride?
Favorite ride, Aftershock.
Aftershock.
Wakes me up.
It wakes you up.
How many times have you ridden it in a row?
I can only do 2 before I get to a little nauseous. And I can't do anything that spins. I don't know what's going on. I took the elephant ride with my kid, and I was nauseous for an hour and a half afterwards. So nothing that spins. So that's out. Yeah, I like drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all about that. Going upside down is one thing, but drops are where it's at.
Yeah. How many times did you say you could ride it, Jordan?
Aftershock?
Yeah.
I think we said 11 or 12. No,
I think
12.
you were 12.
Because I rode Timber Tear
Yeah.
11 times in a row
Yeah.
doing some interviews. And then Shiloh was on and she said, I could do Aftershock 12. So now we have this like friendly competition. That
Oh, boy.
That we need to follow
but
through with.
I rode it on Saturday. And after one time, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could do 5.
Your
Yeah.
face, though. You just see Jordan up
Yeah.
there when they're like facing
Have
down,
to.
and he's like, I mean, so animated.
I remember when Fred Grubb, he's the guy that built Timber Terror and Tremors, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain Coasters.
Yeah.
Anyway, so right when we were doing the test runs on Tremors, I got on the back and come back into the station. He's like, "Oh, Nikki, something's wrong with the lap bars. I'll get you on the next one." And then he sent me out. He must have sent me out like 15 times. Basically until I finally vomited.
Did you actually vomit?
Oh yeah. He's like, "You can get
Nice.
off now." I was like, "Thanks, bud."
Nice.
That's
All
what
right.
friends are for.
We have the answers and, well, but not the answers, the score. We have the score.
You're not allowed to look at your own score,
I know the score. Amanda just told me what the score was.
but so you get to announce your own winner.
Well, let's see.
Okay.
And
the
winner is
Yep, I won. I won. It was
Shocking.
139 to 107.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I had
okay.
2 number 1 answers, and Nick had 1 number 1 answer.
And what was next one? Number one.
I don't know.
answer?
We're not giving that away because
okay, because we could play this
game
again.
again. We don't want
Yeah.
people to like that was the number 1
That's
answer
true.
and do it again. But
See, this is why you wanted to play me because there's no way I would have won. Jordan wins everything.
well,
You do. Wait, I won once.
you've won. I've actually
I've won
not
a
won
couple
a lot
times.
of these.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. I've come back because he doubts me sometimes, and yeah, he gets overly confident. But that's our other happy sound.
What's this one for? Ice cream?
This is the
Yeah, you know it.
inside scoop, and
Okay.
this is your chance to tell our audience what your number 1 super secret insider tip would be for those coming to Phantasm.
To the magic show?
Yeah.
Yes.
What would if someone for the first time or the
Yeah.
1,000th time? What would you want them to like insider tip? Maybe it's like when to get to the show.
Well, you got to
what
get
show
there
to go
early.
to.
Yeah, you got to get there early. 7 o'clock is always my favorite show
Okay.
because you get all these people that are leaving the water park that are like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
and stumble in, and so then you get a
Wet crowd.
yeah energy. The louder you guys are, the it translates into adrenaline for us, so we push harder. So you're going to get a more dynamic show if you're reciprocating.
Yeah.
Where do you think the best place in the theater to sit is?
Center table.
Center table.
My dad's got his own special spot. He'll go up the bleachers about halfway up to one side. That's his spot every time. Front row is pretty wild. This year it's pretty wild, but I like to be further back because I want to see what's going on. We have a lot of data projection mapping and just a lot of little details, a lot of layers. Love layers. Yeah, so I'd say halfway down the theater, right in the center aisle. Yeah. That table is. If I they don't usually let me reserve a table for somebody, but if I've got somebody special coming, I'll try and hold that one as long as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, and definitely get there early because, like I said, once we hit June, doors are closed like half an hour to the show. Every single show. We need a bigger theater. I'm working on it. Baby steps to greatness.
I saw your face when you came out opening weekend, and I don't think you expected it to be as full.
It was full,
and you walked in, and your eyes got real big, and you said a cuss word, and it was like, Nick, never. But yeah, it's been that way. It's been packed to the brim.
I have a feeling we're going to have a really busy season.
Yeah, I think so too. So. Yeah.
Anything else park wide as far as tips goes? I mean, you've been here enough.
Yeah. If you're, and this is directed towards the families, right? First half of the day, I would definitely do the dry park.
Yep.
And then I would ride the train because it's a nice segue. 30 minutes to just relax, take in the view, and then hit the water park for the end of the day. Because after you're waterlogged, you're pretty much done.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the method to which I would go to Silverwood. Yeah. I think the best place to eat for me, best bang for your buck is Chuck Wagon John's, the pavilions. Really good food. I mean, my brother makes it, so that's
that's a good choice.
So I've seen it made. I know it's fresh and everything's really tasty. So that's my spot.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah, we covered enough.
We covered a lot, Nick. Yeah. That was awesome. Thank you for giving us some behind the scenes. One last thing.
Yes.
We told Gypsy I said hello.
I will.
Okay.
She's always talking about Gypsy.
With Gypsy, his macaw. So,
I'm actually going to go fly her right now. She gets to make her laps.
Okay. And I got to see her take a little shower the other day.
Oh
yeah.
I've never seen such a happy bird.
She's all about the water.
Yeah.
She'll spread her wings open.
Well, the rainforest. Yeah, that's awesome.
She's like a little fish bird.
When I take her out in the rain, she'll become my umbrella. She'll literally take her wings and just go over my head and shoulders with it.
Oh my God.
And wrap around me like a
That's
shawl.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
No, she's cool.
I did like the homage to her above the organ.
Oh, the stained glass gypsy.
Yes. Stained glass gypsy. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked in. And it's
we
amazing.
like to throw little Easter eggs in everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a very special, sweet bird. I don't care what anybody says. So, I love Gypsy. Anyway, that's all I had.
Okay.
So, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Nick, thank you so much for joining us this week. And make sure you sign up to become a loyal listener. We just might be calling you next at silverwoodthemepark.com/podcast. And that's a wrap on this week's ride.
That wasn't even that scary.
Thanks for tuning in to the Silverwood Show. If you had a blast, make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share the fun with your fellow thrill seekers. Got a question, story, or suggestion? Send it our way to podcast@silverwoodthemepark.com for a chance to be featured in our Mail Train segment. Until next time, keep your hands and feet inside the podcast and stay thrilling.